gentlemen, welcome to another WWE Fantasy Log. I am James Phoenix. They are Jeff and John.
Hi.
What's up?
We're going to do news, then we're going to do the scoring, all the usual nonsense. We're going to not screw around. We're going to get right into this. We got a lot to cover tonight. Let's do it.
Before we go on, I just want to say hi to our newest subscriber. Hi, Cal. I'm sure we're going to cover the Hardy stuff.
There's not a lot of 70s news tonight, but I do have a couple of things. We're going to get there. All right, so we're going to open right up with a couple of things. You may remember, if you saw last week's show, people at home, that we ended after the pay-per-view video anyway, or maybe it was after the regular one. I can't remember. My brain doesn't work. But you may remember that we talked about how John Jones, after winning his UFC fight, challenged Brock Lesnar to a fight.
Yes.
Well, that was not the only UFC fight that was challenged after that UFC event.
Okay.
Because in addition to John Jones and Brock Lesnar going back and forth on Saturday night, apparently after this happened, UFC Women's Featherweight Champion Chris Cyborg went on to Twitter stating, let's make a deal. Directing this at Becky Lynch. Let's make a deal. If I win tonight in Cali and you win tonight in Detroit, WWE had a live show in Detroit that night, you agree to sign the hashtag SummerSlam contract. Don't be scared.
She wants to fight Becky Lynch at SummerSlam?
She wants to fight Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. Lynch then took to Twitter to post a video of herself watching Cyborg make her walk to the Octagon from a local bar. Following her match and her successful victory, Chris Cyborg again went on to Twitter and added, I won my hashtag UFC 214 fight at Triple H. Now I want at Becky Lynch WWE in the at WWE at hashtag SummerSlam. Hashtag Cyborg v the world.
Okay, then.
Now, I will note that she's rather decorated here in her image. She has 3 championship belts, the UFC featherweight that she just won, and also she has a Strikeforce championship and another one that I don't recognize.
Okay.
I can't read what it says. It's too small. But she has a number of championships, so she is rather decorated. So we will see. Perhaps we will get a UFC crossover match at SummerSlam in addition to one at UFC.
Not unless they severely nerf Cyborg, because given what Becky Lynch had to overcome to wrestle again, I don't think they want to risk her, getting severely injured at the hands of a UFC fighter, because I don't think she could take that, and I think that would completely end her career.
It might. There's a good chance of this. Moving along. Ow. Next up, Chris Jericho.
Drink it in, man.
Yeah, so TMZ had this story apparently. There's an accompanying video which I'm not gonna play.
Right.
But Jericho added another name to his list. The superstar apparently got into a heated shouting match with another man after an event in New York City on Friday night.
Okay.
This being last Friday, not yesterday.
What did you do?
No, wasn't me. Wasn't me. I wouldn't have started a shouting match with him. In a heated shouting match after an event with the two cussing each other out right on the street. It all went down outside Irving Plaza. Oh, God, it was Irving Plaza. Wow. Jericho had just appeared at a tribute show for musician David Z, who was killed in a recent bus accident. And you held it at Irving Plaza? Okay. Witnesses tell us multiple people approached Jericho outside the venue asking for pics and autographs. And while he obliged at first, Y2J started to get frustrated and began to turn people down. That's where the video begins. You can see Jericho and a guy who said he was a fan yelling at each other. The fan said he was just trying to congratulate Jericho on a recent WWE match, but Chris wasn't having it and told the guy, fuck your ass. More cussing ensued. As the fan walks away, you can hear Jericho tell his friend, these guys are fucking pussies. Ultimately, everyone left without further incident. We reached out to Chris for comment. So far, no word back. Jericho issued a statement to TMZ saying, David Z was a good friend of mine, and I was mentally and emotionally shattered after paying tribute to him and essentially saying goodbye to him Friday night. I was not in a good state of mind at that time, and instead of ignoring a pushy, aka rude fan, which is what I would usually do, I snapped. My apologies to all involved, and God bless David Z. So yeah, if you're at a tribute show that is not related to the thing for which you are asking for autographs, don't fucking do that. I mean, I love Chris Jericho, and if I went to a Fozzy concert, I wouldn't ask him for a WWE autograph afterward. That's just not kosher.
True, but at the same time, playing devil's advocate here,
of course you are.
I don't care what mental state Jericho is in. He's still representing WWE because he's under contract with them and he's currently wrestling for them. And whenever a WWE fan comes up to ask him for an autograph or anything WWE related, he is still representing that company. And cussing out a WWE fan is not how you want to be representing the WWE, regardless of your state of mind.
Unless you're a heel.
Even if you're a heel, you don't cuss. You just look at him and go, yeah, whatever, you suck, and walk away.
Actually, two things. Number one, actually, Jericho's appearance on SmackDown to clear up that whole rematch thing was a one-off. He's got more tour dates to go to, so he's just a one-day contract for him to show up, so he's not technically under contract. Number two, while this was cleared up, I remind you, this is the man who punched a woman in the face in a parking lot.
Yeah, but wasn't that back when he even admitted he was kind of an ass?
Yeah.
Because wasn't that in his early days?
He just picked the renegade option, and sometimes that shit happens.
Yeah, pretty much. That's basically it. Roll it along. Let's roll it along. So I'm sure you two heard about this, so let's talk about this real quick. Now, at the point we are with the franchise, the question comes to mind, what can we further do to delegitimize the Transformers brand?
Oh, God, yeah, I heard about this.
And the answer is, hire John Cena. That's right, John Cena.
No, the correct answer is, his name is John Cena.
By the way, completely unrelated.
Of course.
There's a great picture online. The people from Channel Awesome were out at Con Bravo this last weekend, and Doug Walker put up some pictures. One of which is apparently in one of the rooms they're doing their Q&A. There was this crazy lighting set up on the stage. It looked really cool. So Doug posted a picture in front of it with his arms up like this, and then he posted it in the album on Facebook, and he captioned it, "Doug Cena." That was pretty funny.
Yeah, the comment I liked about John Cena was somebody's like, he has to play Mirage. And I was like, I appreciate that.
Yes. You just won the internet, whoever made that comment.
Yeah.
That was great. Anyway, Cena, of course, has landed the biggest acting role of his career thus far. We're starring in a new spin-off of the Transformers franchise titled Bumblebee. Bumblebee will be directed by Michael Bay, and Lorenzo Di Bonaventura will be executive produced by Spielberg, Brian Goldner, Chris Brigham, and Mark Varadian. Sorry. Production started this week in California. The film takes place in 1987 and focuses on the yellow and black Bumblebee Camaro character. Tentatively scheduled for release December 21st, 2018.
Okay, show of hands. Who actually asked for a Bumblebee spinoff? That's what I thought. Also, my favorite comment with the John Cena news is, so it was like, well, let's see. In the main franchise, we have Marky Mark as our main protagonist. We're doing a spin-off Transformers. Who should we hire as the main protagonist? Oh, yeah, the poor man's Marky Mark. That'll work, because that'll put butts in seats.
Yeah.
I just love that people are just making comparisons as to how much John Cena looks like Marky Mark, but on steroids.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to wait for that movie to come out because I want to see the post-credit scene where John Cena drives into Angel Grove and he gets thrown aside by a Megazord.
Ha! Sorry, Bumblebee. And we're losing John.
Yes, John is apparently getting lag. Sorry, John. Indeed. Anyway, let's keep rolling. Hopefully, John can pop out and pop back in and sort that issue out.
But hopefully.
Hopefully. We have more news to cover. Let us cover more news. So, we discussed this a bit before we came on the air here, but let's talk about Bailey.
Poor Bailey.
Poor Bailey.
It's Bailey.
Hey, John.
We're sorry, John.
So there was apparently originally it was just speculation that Becky had suffered a separated shoulder or other shoulder injury. That's what I said, Bailey.
You said Becky.
I said Bailey.
What did he say, John?
Anyway, Bailey may have suffered Bailey may have suffered an injury against Nia Jax in her match on Raw last week. There's apparently something to the story because WWE Facebook posted the following video showing her being attended to medical officials afterward. And following up on that, it was confirmed that there is some level of injury. The extent is currently unknown. Let me open one of these other articles here. Come on. WWE posted an update saying that during her match on July 31st, Bailey suffered an injury to her right shoulder. She was evaluated by medical personnel, but the official diagnosis was inconclusive because there was so much swelling involved. They had to wait for the swelling to go down to really assess the extent of the injury. They told her to rest the shoulder, and they took her off the road at any all live shows this entire past week in order to give the time for the swelling to go down. Bailey said that everything just tensed up around it. I've never had an injury like this before, so I can't really know what it is. I guess we're going to see. Dr. Rahman said it is shoulder-related, and they're going to be undergoing further diagnostic testing to determine the extent of the injury and a timetable on recovery.
Mm-hmm.
It is believed that there will be a statement on her injury this coming week on Raw. Her status for SummerSlam against Bliss is completely up in the air. She won't be at any house shows this week, as mentioned, at least through the weekend. They're saying that there'll be an official final update on Bailey on Monday during Raw, at which point it's believed that her SummerSlam status will be cleared up. The backstage feeling is that she won't be physically ready for SummerSlam, and they're already making moves in place to likely put Sasha in that match or potentially even Nia Jax.
Nia Jax would make the most sense if they're going to go with the whole storyline of, that's right, I took out the number one contender. That should make me the number one contender.
Yeah, that's a bad storyline to go with because all that does is make Kurt Angle look like he's rewarding people for injuring his talent.
Not if he puts Nia Jax in a match with Sasha Banks and Nia Jax wins.
That would be fun, yes. So, for those of you who saw not this past week's, but last week's SmackDown, you might know that following this on Tout was the first and now only episode of Smacking Talk.
Mm-hmm.
With Renee Young and Daniel Bryan, where Daniel Bryan attempted to convince Chad Gable that he was his father. But it was unfortunately shut down. Daniel Bryan tweeting earlier this week, sorry everyone, Rogue hashtag Smacking Talk only lasted 1 week before being shut down. We'll keep on fighting the good fight at Renee Young WWE, hashtag Tout.
Hashtag fire Vince McMahon.
You can't do that. He owns the company.
I noticed John did not retweet that, but you did, so that makes me sad.
Aw. John, why you don't retweet?
You might be hitting lag spikes.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
Because he's not moving.
Grr.
Indeed.
John, if you can hear this, I recommend you leave the call and come back. So, next up. Okay, so we're going to go to the 7 deities here. So,
there you go.
If you're still listening out there, my friend. First off, Karen Jarrett took place at a GFW media conference call on Wednesday. One of the things she was asked about was the Broken Universe trademark. She said she was asked, she said she was advocating for the situation to come to some sort of resolution sooner rather than later, saying, absolutely, I would love to see a resolution, but there's always 2 sides, 3 sides to a story, and then there's the facts to the story. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and things aren't always what they seem to be. She also addressed comments by Matt's wife, Remy Sky, in a recent interview with Sports Illustrated, sharing her belief that speaking publicly about the issue will not help speed up the process and, in fact, could make things more difficult, saying, so commenting on it or putting anything out there I don't think is productive in any way, shape, or form right now. I think the best thing to do is leave it up to the attorneys to handle, and I'm taking the high road and trying to be as mature as possible with everything going on with the entire situation.
Yes, but when your boss, the president of the company, is the one putting everything out there, I'm sorry, Karen Jarrett, you don't get to say shit. Maybe you should tell your boss to shut the fuck up. And maybe, just maybe, nothing will be said. Because the only reason Remy Sky said anything is because Ed fucking Nordholm, the goddamn president of Anthem, can't keep his fucking trap shut.
Yeah. So
fuck the hell off, Karen Jarrett. And you cannot sit there and say you want to see a resolution when your boss is saying, I don't fucking want anything. So, no, apparently your company doesn't want a resolution. So fuck off, you political bitch.
Well, in cruel, ironic turning around of things, the ongoing saga involving intellectual rights continues. However, this time it was WWE on the receiving end of a refusal by the trademark office.
Really? WWE tried to get the trademark?
WWE attempted to trademark the names Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy on June 19th, and Matt Hardy...
That's their names! No wonder they got refused! Vince, you're a fucking idiot! Oh my god! You can't trademark a person's name! What the fuck?!
Okay, easy. Take your Ritalin.
Oh my god, this is a new level of senility by that old fuck.
Matt Hardy was denied for the same reason that the GFW application was. It's considered potential confusion with Matt's own broken Matt Hardy application, which was filed first. Under terms of the refusal, Matt's request will need to be completed before any related action can take place. The Patent and Trademark Office also refused both of the above trademarks because WWE did not receive official approval from Matt and Jeff, since the trademarks refer to people, and the company then moved swiftly and secured both their consent. Finally, WWE also filed an application to trademark Hardy Boys in April, and this has proceeded to the point where it will be published for the opposition to the public.
See, that is fine, because it's their last name, but it's a tag team name, that's fine. I'm surprised the trademark office didn't turn around and say, so let me get this straight, Mr. McMahon. You want to fucking trademark a real name? No. Just no. Because I'm sorry, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy are their real names. You can't trademark that.
Yep.
That'd be like him. That'd be like Vince trying to trademark John Cena. You can't trademark that. Because, that's his actual name.
Yep.
Well, you could if you teamed him up with that guy he rapped with one time, because then it would be the trademark with John. So you could trademark John Cena.
Fair play.
So speaking of John Cena, thank you for the segue. We're going to talk about him a little bit more because in a match that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the program, John Cena very narrowly avoided a serious injury.
Yes, he did.
Cena had a one-on-one match against Shinsuke Nakamura for the number one contendership to the WWE Championship, and Nakamura dropped him on the back of his head and neck. Nakamura was shown to be saying sorry immediately after the finish, and Cena was said to be fine afterwards, walking around normally, and even participated in a dark match segment, so he was okay. But some other wrestlers chimed in on the injury.
I think Cena actually said to him, don't be sorry. I'm fine.
Yeah. Austin Aries chimed in saying, I feel you at John Cena. On the bright side, at least that Shinsuke end didn't break your eye hole too. Hashtag respect, hashtag SmackDown Live.
John Cena should have replied with, no, but at WWE, Rollins did break my nose.
No, that's true.
Also, supposedly what people are saying is that Shinsuke underestimated just how heavy John Cena was, and so he was unable to actually lift him properly enough to get the height necessary to do the move.
Ah, okay.
And that's why he dropped him on the back of his neck instead of on his back. Because he was like, oh shit, you're fucking heavy.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
At Kevin Owens also chimed in at Fight Owens Fight, saying those freaking out over at John Cena's rough landing must have missed the fact that he was revealed to be an actual Transformer the day before. At John Cena replied, it did kind of tip my hand there. I know letter U can't let her see me, but there's hashtag more than meets the eye. Much hashtag respect to at Shinsuke and good luck at hashtag SummerSlam.
Do 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 do.
Do 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 do.
Transformer logo into you can't see me.
Yeah. And I have one more article related to the Cena injury, but I probably already covered whatever's in it. Let me just check.
Yes, boss.
Oh, right. This is tangentially related.
Okay.
I wanted to mention this. Spoiler alert for later in the program: Nakamura beat Cena.
Yeah.
But the WWE website had a major screw up earlier this week,
Okay.
where when they posted their recap of the program, as they're wont to do, their description of the SmackDown main event was apparently pre-written and detailed the match as it was originally supposed to end.
With Baron Corbin interfering?
Yes, in the write-up, the article indicated that Baron Corbin came down to ringside attempting to attack Nakamura, but it backfired and he ended up taking out Cena instead, which allowed Nakamura to pick up the win. That would have helped set up a Corbin versus Cena match somewhere down the road. However, as we now know, plans change. It's unclear whether it was Cena who wanted to put Nakamura over clean or if it was a Vince decision. But as for the .com story, once it was realized, the article was immediately amended to include a recap of what actually happened rather than what was planned.
My guess is it was a Cena audible. My guess is Cena looked at that and was like, fuck no, we're doing this clean.
Could be.
That sounds like something Cena would do. It's like, you want to set me up with Corbin? I'm cool with that. Let Nakamura beat me clean. Then I'll come down and beat Corbin's ass afterwards. Cool? Cool. Let's do this.
All right. So let's jump back a little bit. Speaking of Karen Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
During the aforementioned conference call.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Karen Jarrett was in the conference call, and she was asked about the Braun Strowman situation. And she said, oh, my goodness, I can clear the air. It was a silly incident where you have two people in the wrestling business playing their characters, being silly, and it got blown way out of proportion. And the fact that the two of us are still in the news and it's being talked about, that's a question that you took the time to ask. I think it's hysterical, to be honest with you. It's silliness. It's the wrestling business. We had fun with it, and somebody took it and turned it into something more than it was.
And you're an idiot, Karen Jarrett. Or don't you follow the stuff that's happening with your own goddamn company? Need I remind you, Mexico versus England, and you wonder why people blew this out of proportion, you dumb bitch. That's why you need to watch what the fuck you do out in fucking public.
Well, further details, with many conflicting stories going around, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter continues to state that the encounter, as he described it, did happen, with Strowman eventually begging Karen not to tell on him to Kurt Angle. According to the latest report, the issue blew up when Strowman responded to Karen's request for an autograph for her son with, "Fuck your son." Further reports have denied the severity of the incident, including Karen herself trying to downplay the whole thing, but the Observer states that their sources continue to stand by the original report. Meltzer added that he was shocked that neither of the parties came out with a flat-out denial, as that's how these things are usually handled.
But she just did.
No, she admitted the event happened, just not the way people said it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's keep on rolling. More things to cover, more stuff to discuss. I want to get to the last thing because, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling through. All right.
I'm
go
sure
on.
we still have stuff in the aforementioned Mexico versus England.
Thank you for the segue. So, Busted Open Radio, hosted by Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca, interviewed real-life couple Paige and Del Rio / El Patron back on the 3rd of August. The two spoke on a number of topics, including the infamous airport incident. First of all, regarding WWE return, Paige said, "I just had my CAT scan today, and I get to do my last checkup on Monday. Hopefully, I'll be back sooner rather than later, but I don't know at this point. I can't wait to get back to work. It's been since October 19th, so it's been a while. I want to be wrestling again. It feels so weird not wrestling for so long. I got to travel a bit with Alberto, but it's not the same when you're not in the ring yourself, so I'm excited to get back to WWE." Regarding the airport incident, they both basically stated the issue was blown way out of proportion and that it was just a normal fight that all couples have. They both laughed about it and said that because of the media attention, it was presented like a massacre, but also that they are waiting for the official report to come out so people could see and read about what actually happened. Alberto said they're both passionate people and they can fight for 20 minutes and then be fine 3 minutes later. In regards to the incident, they both stated that Alberto said something that he should not have said, and as a result ended up with a drink on his head. They both agreed they shouldn't act like that in public. Paige was also asked about her family's response to the incident and what appeared to be fears for her safety, but she stated that they only found out about what happened from the internet and were simply concerned about her safety. They read the BS on the internet and reacted accordingly.
Or you're hiding something.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah, or that. Now, in regards to El Patron, Patron spoke out about his reported suspension from GFW, addressing the rumors in the Busted Open Radio aforementioned interview, where he and Dos Caras and El Hijo de Dos Caras lost to LAX. Okay, right. On Friday, GFW officials issued the following brief statement to the folks at PW Insider saying, Alberto El Patron remains under suspension while GFW continues its internal look at the situation. So that's where we're at right now.
So in other words, GFW ain't buying your bullshit.
Potentially.
One of the first smart things GFW has done.
Mm-hmm. We will cover this quickly. It was announced just earlier today, actually, that actually it was a couple days ago. Sorry, but that NXT and 205 Live superstar Ho Ho Loon has parted ways with the WWE.
Yeah, remove him from my roster.
We shall do that when we go to begin the scoring portion of the program. Ho Ho Loon. Let's see. From reports, let me get. I don't have it in front of me. Reports indicated that apparently what happened was Ho Ho Loon recently made a trip back to China, and while there, he discovered that his mother was very ill, and so he decided that his best course of action right now was to return to the WWE and speak to Albert at the Performance Center and request his release so that he could go back to China and care for his ailing mother, and his request was granted.
So he'll probably be back at some future date.
That is entirely plausible. He left on perfectly good terms, so I wouldn't be surprised. Speaking of people who are no longer with the WWE, official news went out also in the last day or two. Let me get this one over here. I'll start off with the official WWE statement, and then I will move on to the statement of the talent in question. Luckily, it doesn't affect our roster at all. But the posted up on WWE.com back on the 4th that WWE and SmackDown superstar Eva Marie have parted ways.
Do we end up taking her off my roster?
She's been gone for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've mutually parted ways. She tweeted, "Today I'm saying a bittersweet goodbye to at WWE. Thanks to the entire team and you, my fans, for these 4 years. Hashtag all red everything forever."
Really? She's been there for 4 years and accomplished nothing?
She accomplished
Wow.
Total Divas.
She accomplished NXT stuff.
Hmm.
I think. I don't know. Eva Marie has been with WWE since 2013. Her last appearance was back in August of 2016 before she was hit with a suspension as a result of a wellness policy violation.
In other superstar news, Kairi Sane, or Sane, I don't know how you say her last name, suffered a pretty nasty concussion in the women's tournament, so she's probably out of that tournament now.
Well, like I said, there's the rest of the tournament isn't because the tournament's already over. They taped the whole thing over 2 days, like several weeks ago.
Yeah, well, it was a recent taping of something. She suffered a concussion, so she's kind of out of action.
Well, maybe they taped it more recently, but in either case, they said it's not expected to keep her out for very long.
And then her compatriot, Io Shirai, will not be signing with WWE.
He will not.
She, the woman from a women's wrestling promotion in Japan, I think, or at least she was like the women's champion anyway. But would any of your remaining stories happen to be about Enzo Amore?
No, but you can talk about that if you want.
Well, I have some other news about Enzo Amore that I don't know if you're aware of.
Okay, well, let me finish what I'm doing with Eva Marie, and then we'll do that.
Okay.
As noted, Eva Marie announced her departure. Road Dogg took to social media to comment on the story. He responded to a fan named... Is that funny?
No, I assume it ends with "and then he blocked him," or
No, actually.
okay.
Road Dogg is the good guy in this story.
That's a first.
Devil's advocate.
I know. And he responded to a fan named Billy, B-I-L-L-I, Billy Botti, on Twitter, who wrote to him in critical fashion about letting Eva Marie go. The tweet in question, he says, and he tagged her in the tweet to at Natalie Eva Marie, saying, at Natalie, that's her real name, by the way, at Natalie Eva Marie going is tragic. It's a major sign that hashtag WWE have forgotten that men have dicks and love hot women. Have a word at WWE Road Dogg.
Okay, number one, Road Dogg doesn't make those decisions. You dumb, ignorant ass. Number two, have you seen the rest of the women's roster? You're the one who doesn't have a dick. Holy shit.
At Road Dogg replied, "It wasn't our decision, but at least your tweet is crass and classless. Come on, Billy, keep it clean on my TL, dude." So Road Dogg called him out on it, so good for Road Dogg. Even Road Dogg has standards.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that have not been released to WWE, but that will not be coming to WWE, according to a report at Sports Illustrated, the WWE has decided not to offer Rey Mysterio a contract at this time.
Their loss.
Apparently, the report details the reason is because Vince McMahon was not willing to work with Conan, who represents Mysterio.
Not a bad call.
Really? Conan is representing Mysterio?
The issues with McMahon and Conan date back to the 90s when he was playing the Max Moon character in WWE. After appearing in only 3 televised matches, Conan started no-showing events and also had significant tension with other talent backstage, leading to a strained relationship with McMahon. Conan then decided to concentrate on his wrestling career in Mexico, despite WWE heavily investing in his character. As for Mysterio, the report goes on to speculate he will likely get a strong offer from GFW, though one area that could prove to be difficult to negotiate is Mysterio still wants full availability and control to work indie dates.
I thought Mysterio already has a contract in his hands, or potential.
Well, he hadn't signed it, so it's a matter.
No, he hasn't signed it, but
Well, it's a matter of whether it's a contract that meets his approval or not, and Conan's approval, apparently.
Well, that would also explain how and why Rey Mysterio immediately got a contract in his hands. Because, guess who works for GFW?
Conan?
Yeah, he's the leader of LAX.
Oh. Fair enough.
Yeah. Remember we did that? We showed him like weeks ago when we were talking about LAX, and we showed Old Man Conan as the leader, the manager.
That's right. Okay, that's Conan. Okay.
Yeah, so he's kind of leading one of their, biggest factions at the moment. So now that we know, oh, he's representing Ray, that's probably why Ray immediately got a contract the moment he stepped foot in fucking Tennessee.
X Division. X Division.
205 Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard on Lucha Underground that Dominic was there when Rey Mysterio was there. If you remember him.
Who the hell is Dominic?
His son.
His son. He was
Oh,
almost
right.
Eddie Guerrero's son. Remember? But they
Right,
had
right.
a match.
So
yeah,
what,
he
he
was
was
really there, and he's like, what did they say? It was like 12 years ago. But he because Johnny Mundo, I guess, was like starting something, and he stood up and looked at him, and the guy's just like, Dominic's really big.
Yeah.
He's not 8 anymore.
No. Oh, that's another thing, by the way. Johnny Mundo, by the way. It's worth noting that GFW is trying to sign him as well. It was noted in that Karen Jarrett article before that he's going to be doing at least a one-off appearance for GFW, and they'd like to sign him to a contract, but no guarantees yet. Those paying attention at home that don't follow other promotions, that's John Morrison, by the way.
No, we need him back in WWE.
Agreed.
Especially since Batista is probably not coming back. It's like, fucking bring him and Melina back. No one's going to complain.
He's not even dating Melina anymore.
I know, but there'd probably still be beef there. If Batista was still involved, she probably wouldn't get much. But Batista has basically stated in no uncertain terms he's pretty much done with WWE because fuck the people in the back.
Yeah.
After his last run, he kind of got pissed off. And he was like, no, fuck you guys, you suck.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Yeah. He said he wants to come back, he wants to wrestle, but he says right now, fuck them. They're a bunch of assholes. And I was like, I don't blame you, Batista. Besides, you're Drax, a motherfucking destroyer. You don't need that shit. You got
Drax.
Thanos to worry about. Fuck Vince McMahon.
Drax ain't shit. Anyway, the last news story of the night, I literally found 10 minutes before we went on the air.
Did you want me to do the Enzo stuff first?
Oh, yeah, do the Enzo stuff first. Good call.
Okay, so the first thing is about Enzo is some rumors about what they're going to do with him since they, completely buried him. The rumors are either they're going to shunt him down to NXT so that they would have someone marketable on NXT that could draw more numbers for NXT, or, and I approve of this one, putting him on 205 Live to try to draw numbers for 205 Live, and I think he could do well there. Who knows? Maybe they'll keep him on the main roster and just continue to completely bury him. But those are the rumors as to where he's going to go. Now, the other news that I haven't told you guys about Mr. Amore is that the news has broken as to exactly why Roman Reigns speared Enzo off the goddamn bus.
He speared him off the bus?
Well, I say spear. It's Roman Reigns. But no, he threw him off the bus. And there's a reason why most of the locker room hate his fucking guts. And after hearing it, I'm like, yeah, I can understand that. Fucking Jersey asshole. Because apparently, and this should come as a shock to nobody, Enzo has a big mouth.
Well, yeah.
And apparently he's been well known for talking to people on the phone, which is fine, somebody, friends or whatever. But he talks rather loudly, and apparently he gloats about the shit he could do as a WWE superstar and how much money he makes.
Okay, then.
Which anybody who knows the wrestling industry knows, you don't talk about that shit. So yeah, people done got pissed off, and my guess is he was doing that on the bus at Range that had just had enough. It was like, no, get the fuck off. Just fuck you, get off the bus now. Loudmouth piece of shit. And so that's apparently what's gotten Enzo in supremely hot water and why nobody likes him.
Fair enough.
And then and then on what's that JBL Corey Graves show on the network? Bring It to the Table.
Yeah.
Apparently, on Bring It to the Table, Corey Graves just outright admitted, "Yeah, I don't like Enzo. He's basic. Enzo is basically Enzo."
No, you don't say.
Yeah, but he basically confirms that Enzo is basically Enzo. Like what you see on TV is who he actually is. Now, the thing of it is, Bring It to the Table is supposed to be backstage kind of stuff, kind of unscripted, kind of them being them. But ever since they decided to put JBL on the show, nobody knows. The viewers don't know if what they're saying is true or if it's all kayfabe because fuck JBL. So they don't know if Corey Graves is saying that straight from the heart or if he's saying it as Corey Graves.
Right.
Because if he's saying it as Corey Graves, it makes sense because Graves is supposed to be kind of a heel, despite the fact that he's apparently siding with Kurt Angle. But usually, most of the time, he's a heel commentator. So as Corey Graves, it would make sense that Corey Graves would not like Enzo Amore. But if he really does have that big a mouth in real life, and if he's been doing all that shit and pissing everybody off, yeah, I could see actual Corey Graves not liking Enzo Amore.
Yeah. I can see it.
So, yeah, I'm sorry, Jim, but Enzo Amore is pretty much done. At least for the foreseeable future. Because he kind of done pissed off everybody.
That's what it sounds like. Well, we shall see what happens.
And the thing is, if you piss off Reigns to the point that he kicks you off the bus, that's a little far because, Reigns is like Hawaiian. He's chill. It takes a lot to piss off Roman Reigns. And if he's going to throw your ass off the bus, goddamn.
He's not Hawaiian. He's Samoan, you racist fuck.
Well, he is Samoan, but he's Samoan from Hawaii. His family is like from Hawaii.
Samoans come from American Samoa. That's where the name comes from. You dumb bastard.
That doesn't mean that's where they live. But
that is the heritage.
That is the heritage, but he's from Hawaii.
Then he's Hawaiian.
That's why he does this all the time. He's fucking Hawaiian. Doesn't live there anymore, obviously, because WWE, but that's where he's from. He's Hawaiian.
Okay, then.
That's why he has that chill attitude, because it takes a lot to piss off Hawaiians.
Yeah, that is true.
Just like The Rock is Hawaiian.
Not those two, those like twin yoga sisters where the one drove them both off a cliff. Maybe not them, but maybe other ones.
Yeah.
And no, Roman Reigns was raised in Florida.
Was he? I thought he was actually in Hawaii.
I'm named after a state.
No. Thank you, John. No. Pensacola, Florida. Played football for 3 years at Pensacola Catholic High School, 1 year at Escambia High School. Senior year, he was Defensive Player of the Year by Pensacola News Journal, then attended Georgia Tech.
Okay, I thought that's just like where he lives now. Or maybe like he went like college there. Kind of like how The Rock went to college in Miami, but he's from Hawaii.
No, Roman Reigns is apparently from Pensacola, as far as I can gather.
Okay, that's fair enough. But I think his family is still from Hawaii because this is a very Hawaiian thing, and he does that all the time. So,
yeah, which might be the case.
It just might be a Samoan thing too. I don't know, but I know that's a very Hawaiian thing to do.
Might be.
Just weird because The Rock is from Hawaii and never does that.
Because The Rock's got no chill. He's got an $800 shirt.
He's got a chill. He doesn't have this. He just has the eyebrow. That's all he needs.
And he doesn't like it when you check out the people's strudel.
Actually, technically, The Rock was born in California, but he was raised in a heavily Samoan family. Because he was born here in California. Obviously, his mother's family, the Maivias, of course, the High Chief, very heavy from the Samoan background there, while his father, Rocky Johnson, was from Canada. He was a Nova Scotian, actually.
Really? I did not know this.
Rocky Johnson was Nova Scotian.
I'm pretty sure his family lives in Hawaii, like now anyway, and they're that he was heavily from there, and then he went to
They might. I don't know.
college in, like I said, Miami because he was with the Hurricanes.
Yeah, he went to Miami for the
Stand back.
college.
There's the hurricanes coming through.
Basically. Let's see. He lived briefly in Auckland, New Zealand with his mother's family. Then returned to the United States with his parents. Spent 10th grade at President William McKinley High School in Honolulu. Okay.
So yeah, he did live in Hawaii then.
Then he had to relocate to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And then he went to college in Miami.
So somewhere in there, they probably moved back to Hawaii then. Fair enough.
That is entirely possible.
And his mother is from New Zealand. I didn't know that. Fair enough. So Rocky is part Kiwi?
His mother is of Samoan descent.
Well, yes.
But let me see. Yeah, apparently his mother's family is Kiwi. Apparently, Grey Lynn in suburban Auckland.
Wow. Huh. The Rock is part Kiwi. Who knew?
Yeah, see, there you go.
Alrighty then.
Dun, dun, dun. The more you know. Anyway, so let's go cover this last news story so we can get into the actual scoring of the shit. Because wow.
Okay.
And this just went up earlier this afternoon because insanity, and apparently recapping something that happened this morning. Xavier Woods.
Okay.
Xavier Woods was at the airport. I don't actually know what airport. At no point
Probably wherever Raw's going to
airport.
be. Probably wherever Raw's going to, or SmackDown's going to be on Tuesday. He was probably, I assume, flying in for like live shows and stuff.
Presumably, but apparently it was noted somewhere in here that he was apparently trying to fly from wherever he was to Montreal.
Oh, so he was leaving the city. Fair enough.
Yeah, he was trying to fly to Montreal from wherever the hell he was at the time.
So SmackDown's in Canada this week?
Might be.
Fair enough.
Or there was just an event there that they were going to, like a live event or something.
True. Anyway.
They do that. Anyway, so Oscar was in the airport, and apparently all hell broke loose.
Okay. Was he there alone, or was the New Day with him?
It sounds like he was alone.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to tell, but it doesn't sound like they were with him.
Okay.
Because it sounds like he was alone. But here's what happened. So, as I understand the situation, apparently there was somebody did some math wrong.
Okay.
And the plane that they were supposed to be on was overweight.
Oops.
So, what they basically needed, the plane was basically grounded until they could get, in the opening tweet here, apparently the plane was grounded until they could get 8 volunteers to agree not to board the plane.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. So at Xavier Woods PhD chronicled the entire thing here on his Twitter. Opening up with starting at 10:42 a.m. yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today if you haven't gone to sleep yet. Currently using Google Translate to explain to the man next to me that they need 8 volunteers or we aren't taking off. Following up, things are breaking down at this gate. 3 flights from the same gate, and ours hasn't left yet. People are starting to turn GOT style.
GOT?
That's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Feels like a brawl may ensue. I'll keep my phone ready in case some at World Star stuff happens.
Oh, Xavier. That's that PhD working for you.
People have been clamoring for a manager, and it's not this girl's fault, the girl at the desk. Someone just said they are going to write a complaint letter. Follow up.
People write letters these days?
Oh, the next tweet has a gif from the movie White Chicks.
Oh, no.
All capital letters. Handwritten, not an email. I've never seen this happen in real life before. It's literally that scene from White Chicks. Mental breakdowns are starting to occur. A man said he has lifetime executive platinum and will never fly them again. and just yelled at this girl who was working the desk like she purposely made it so we can't get on the plane. This girl, who is made of stone, looked at him and said, "Okay, I'm sorry that this has happened, sir, but unfortunately there isn't anything I can do to help unless people volunteer to not take the flight." He then starts to yell again, and she politely cuts him off and says, "Is there anyone who needs help that will speak in an indoor voice?" Laughing so hard I'm crying face. I haven't heard someone say indoor voice since I worked in daycare. I love this. Girl at the desk is giving me life. Follow-up tweet. This one has a gif of what appears to be JR dancing in the ring on an episode of SmackDown. The first F-bomb has been dropped, capital letters. This man cursed at the girl at the desk and she walked away. Hashtag slobber knocker. A woman is breastfeeding and shooting dirty looks at the man who cursed super loud. Crowd starting to turn on him.
GOT style.
So to update, we are delayed due to a weight restriction and need 4 more, got 4 already, volunteers to not fly. Reward is $1,300, a hotel, and a confirmed seat on a flight to Montreal tomorrow. But we may only need 3 more pretty soon because this man who dropped the F-bomb may be in danger. People next to me are actually conspiring to try to get people to band together to get him booted off the flight. GOT. Follow up. The price just got up to $1,500 after the Lifetime Executive Platinum man got loud about it. People smiled, and the F-bomb guy is mad jealous, and he still doesn't know people are plotting to force him to volunteer for cursing at our Khaleesi. Desk girl. And there's hilarious gifs with each of these from Game of Thrones, by the way.
Take the 1,500.
I actually find it hilarious that not a single one of these people have realized that fucking Xavier Woods is sitting there and be like, dude, we need some power of positivity up in this bitch.
Huh.
It's like Austin is just chilling. No one's realizing it's him sitting there with the phone.
Not everybody's a WWE fan, dude.
Yeah, also, he's not offering the power of positivity. I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there being a
WWE fan, but he also has the YouTube channel, which I know probably owned by WWE, but still, that also garners a lot of fans that aren't WWE fans, that are video game fans.
That's true. So following up, you'll see where this is going. The next tweet has a Howie Mandel gif.
Oh, no.
We are now at $2,000. This is like watching Deal or No Deal.
Damn, take that shit.
Everyone whispering with their friends. F-bomb guy whispering with no one.
Take that shit.
And this has been my aesthetic the entire time. GIF of the dog sitting in the flaming room. This is fine. You know that picture.
Yeah.
Next up, also Green. I helped an older lady fill out her declaration card, then watched her in 1 30-second walk, mind you, shun the F-bomb guy, then feign injury so she could skip the line to speak to our Khaleesi, then proceeded to try and plead her case for why she should get on the plane now. She said, I honestly don't know how much time I've got left, so I need to get on this flight. And Khaleesi stonewalled her. When the older woman returned to her seat, she laughed and said, I tried the old lady thing, but she wasn't buying it. Triple laughing face. I have no idea how I was selected to be blessed with all this ridiculousness on this day.
Dude, you're Austin Creed. Come on.
Yep. Jeff got
R-rated.
Too many hysterical things are happening. Starting to look for cameras. I think I may be on Swerved. This cannot be real. GIF from an episode of Swerved. I can't with what just happened. 4 laughy faces. The Lifetime Executive Platinum dude just came and gave props to the old lady who faked an injury. And the F-bomb guy saw it invisibly through a 2-second tantrum. He looks like he wants to fight the old lady for being the cheating baby face.
Special guest referee Xavier Woods.
Apparently. So follow up, we are boarding, capital letters, finally.
I have to wonder, does Creed have his title with him?
Unfortunately, given how heavy that thing is, it's probably got to be in check baggage.
And now you know why they're overweight, because they have that fucking belt.
Yeah, that thing.
Assuming he's the one that has it, there's 2 other people in that faction.
Yeah, they only got 2 belts between 3 of them. He may not have one.
But he is the one that won it, so.
Yeah. And not only that, but they got to find room for a trombone.
And all his video game equipment.
And that. So there is a couple that is so happy that they are literally in tears. This girl at the desk, she truly is the breaker of chains. The F-bomb guy said something to Khaleesi under his breath. She stopped him and said, "You being rude did nothing to help anyone. Know that." Man in front of me, who also kept his cool, just jokingly said, "Now we are going to sit here in this plane for another 2 hours. Please, Lord, no." All capital letters. Breastfeeding mom just got out and walked past F-bomb guy. She mouthed "fuck you" as she passed him. How are things still happening? And lastly, we are about to take off. I'm still in awe that this even occurred. Hopefully it's done and a fight doesn't break out in customs. Bye.
Wow.
And that is the last time the airline listens to him. Why did they put so many people on? Because they wanted to keep it tight.
Bravo. And no reaction from Stonewall Jim.
That's hysterical. I freaking love it. But I read the whole thing beforehand, so.
He's
No,
going
but
hashtag
reaction-
Khaleesi.
No, but reaction to what John said.
Oh, what a job. I'm sorry. I totally missed it because I was looking up Austin's Twitter to see if there was more. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
You want to?
What? I got to do it again?
You don't have to. I'm just asking.
I just said it was the last time the airline was going to listen to him. They booked so many people because they were trying to keep it tight.
Yes. Yes. Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot, your daddy, and your uncle.
Yes!
Make it happen.
Welcome to Positivity Airlines.
Soul Plane 2.
Yes! Oh my god, WWE Films, make it happen.
Oh, God. It's not like they don't know Snoop Dogg.
Speaking of
Okay.
WWE Films, did you see the movie they're making?
Which one?
The Bruce Lee one.
They're going to Bruce Lee movie?
They've made a Bruce Lee movie, and the guy is actually pretty damn good. The guy who plays him, he's got that 70s Bruce Lee accent down. And it's apparently chronicling this point in Bruce Lee's life where he was starting to teach people, like in San Francisco, wherever he was. Eventually ended up here. His body's up here. But anyway, because he's from up here. But apparently he started teaching people, and someone at like a Shaolin temple in like China or whatever got wind of it. I think it was in China. Maybe it was a Shaolin temple over here. Anyway, he was a Shaolin monk and decided to come over and challenge Bruce Lee, not because, you know, he didn't like the fact that Bruce Lee was teaching whites or blah, 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 which Bruce Lee's like, oh, they don't like the fact that I'm teaching whites. But what it really was that the guy didn't feel Bruce Lee was reaching his full potential, that he was being held back because of what he was doing in terms of the teaching and stuff. So he's like, I'm going to come over here to prove to you that that you have much more to give, but you have to allow yourself to give it. You can't be, you know, so worried about the streets and about, you know, teaching, as one of his students in the movie put it, how to kick ass. And so he comes over and teaches him and you know, to fight him, and they have this fight. Apparently it actually happened in real life. And there's this great line where he leans in right before they're getting ready to fight, and the monk's like, you know, there is like one flaw in your technique or one thing holding you back. And he goes, what's that? He goes, you.
Mm.
And so it's Shaolin monk versus Bruce Lee, and I'm just like, huh, I've never heard this story before.
Huh.
But yes, I was like, wait, WWE Films is doing this? The fuck? You should check it out. There's trailers on YouTube and stuff. It actually looks pretty good. Now, of course, they probably, you know, amped it up for Hollywood. Like, there's this one scene, I'm pretty sure this didn't happen in real life, but if it did, holy shit, where he's fighting, I guess, this thug or something like that, and he goes, hey, Tony, did I ever show you my 1-inch punch? Boom! Just 1-inch punches him. I'm just like, ow.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. But yeah, the guy, he kind of looks like Bruce Lee, and he's kind of got the stance and the fighting style down. So
That's
I'm
good.
tempted to see it just for the martial arts.
Yeah, I can see that. Makes sense. Fair enough. So just to wrap up here,
For those wondering, it's called Birth of the Dragon.
okay. Is Ricky Steamboat in the movie?
Ha! I don't know. I didn't see any WWE superstars announced for the movie, but given that WWE Films is doing it, I'm guaranteeing there's at least one in there somewhere.
Probably.
Triple H, he's going to beat up Bruce Lee.
Yes.
Ho-Ho loomed before he quit.
That's why he quit. He was disgraced.
Yeah, I don't see any indication of a WWE superstar in that movie, so fair enough. It looks like WWE was just a distributor on it. They didn't actually make the movie.
Fair enough. So that's the prominent name on the movie. Every time I see the trailer, big ass like, WWE Films, I'm like, oh, okay.
Apparently people were pissed at the movie because they put a fictional Caucasian dude in it.
Okay.
Steve McKee, martial arts student. Apparently they said it focused too much on him. He was
Fair
presented
enough.
as Bruce Lee's friend, so I don't know. Shannon, Bruce Lee's daughter, distanced herself from the film, saying that, like others about her father, it lacks a complete understanding of his philosophies and artistry. They haven't captured the essence of his beliefs in martial arts or storytelling.
Fair enough.
So there you go. So to wrap up over with Austin, 45-second video of the plane taxiing on the runway and takeoff this day. Then he got to Montreal. No hotel rooms available in Ottawa. Most expensive hotels ever in Montreal. Drove back to the U.S. and the rooms booked were smoking rooms.
He got screwed in Montreal? What are the odds?
I know. Capital letters, who is chain smoking in these hotel rooms? Chip from The Simpsons or somebody smoking.
Smokers?
And fingers
That's the
crossed.
From the X-Files?
Yeah.
The F-bomb guy.
And fingers
man.
And fingers crossed that the Airbnb we booked, then later dude said it was already booked, actually cancels and doesn't try to steal my money.
You know what he has to do now?
What?
He has to make and release on the network the F-bomb dude for 2K18. He's got to make him custom wrestler.
Yes.
And just call him that, the F-bomb dude.
We need to tweet him that.
I agree.
Also, he needs to use that as a gimmick on that fake wrestling show that WWE does.
Oh, the Southpaw?
Yeah. Yes. He needs to call himself F-bomb dude.
There you go.
They're supposedly doing a season 2 of that.
They are. AJ Styles is going to play a car dealer.
I could see that.
Should be fun.
I love AJ Styles. I love that his daughter walks in on his Skype interviews with other wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because she literally walked in on his interview with Edge and Christian on their podcast. And he
Indeed.
made his son take her out the room because she was going to try to paint his nails and shit.
Ah.
It was sounded like there was a situation over there. Is everything good? And he's like, yeah, that's cool. She was, just wanted to play with daddy and was probably going to paint my nails and stuff. So I had her brother take her out. She didn't like that. But we're cool. Daddy problem. Something John is probably familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except growing up in Jersey, when you saying someone's going to take somebody out, it means a little different. It's when they get speared off the bus.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Also, that's how you could tell AJ Styles kind of knew at the dad thing, because how the hell he didn't lock the door to the room when he's doing a goddamn interview, I'll never know.
Actually, he's really not.
He has like 16 kids or something.
Not quite that. It's not quite that excessive, but he has a number
Oh.
of children. Yes,
He's no Kurt Angle, but
he has
he-
4.
So he just made a rookie mistake in a moment of idiocy.
Pretty much.
Because even John, you'd probably agree. Lock the damn door if you're doing an interview.
That's it.
yeah, if it's very important, you don't. Yeah, you do so, or at least remind them very much ahead of time. Just be like, remember, I'm doing something in there. Don't come in the door. Go paint your own nails. Do it later.
Yeah, it's just randomly. It's worth noting that all 4 of AJ's children are also AJ. He has
George Foreman, ladies and gentlemen.
He has 3 sons. One who is literally AJ, AJAY, AJ Jones. His eldest born in 05. The second is Avery Jones, born 07, and Albie Jones, born 2009, are the sons, and the daughter Annie Jones was born 2014.
That's a great way to sum it up. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So, anyway, let us proceed with the usual shenanigans now that we've gotten past all that news. Shall we?
Yes.
Oh, yes, me.
Oh, Loon, you are the weakest link.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Pretty much. I'll just go ahead and I will cut him off the roster now. A to Z.
He has no points for this season because he's been on
He does.
NXT.
Yeah, pretty much. Delete, 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 delete. All right, and let's just run a data update real quick. Refresh all. Okay. Let me
I
go
should
ahead
get a
and-
Hardy Boy shirt.
You should get a Hardy Boy shirt.
Now that they're back, I can actually get one.
You can.
I thought it was. Did I get one? Oh yeah.
Nice. All right, let's go ahead and see what is going on. Let's go to the screen share right there. That's the wrong window up, but I'll change it in a sec. All right, let's see. So let's pop over here to the scores. As you can see from here, we're going to go this side. Still in the lead at 85-62 is Team Extreme, followed by the Certified Balor Club at 76-11, followed by Team Apocalypse at 65-81. So, yeah. Currently on the leaderboards, top of the leaderboards is Kevin Owens, the new face of America, at 688, followed by the U.S. champ AJ Styles at 660, the WWE champ Jinder Mahal at 615, just a couple points ahead of the Cruiserweight champ Neville at 613, the Intercontinental champion The Miz at 535, followed by the Raw Women's champion Alexa Bliss at 509, Samoa Joe coming in at 485, followed by Akira Tozawa at 482, Finn Balor at 470, and rounding out the top 10 is Seth freaking Rollins at 454.
All right, then.
Indeed. So,
So,
let's put these guys back in alphabetical order. We shall proceed with the programming.
proceed.
So, Raw this week coming from the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh,
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
Kurt's hometown.
Indeed. So Kurt comes out to the ring, welcomes his hometown crowd to Raw, goes through tonight's match lineup, which includes Show versus Big Cass, Jason Jordan being on Miz TV, and Reigns versus Strowman versus Joe in a triple threat match.
Doesn't he also mention that's the anniversary of when he won the Ultimate Gold with a broken freaking neck?
Angle mentions that this is the 21-year anniversary of his Olympic gold medal that he won with a broken freaking neck.
Thought so.
The crowd gives him an ovation, then he starts to leave, but he's interrupted by Brock and Heyman, who basically come out, talk some crap, and Heyman announces that if Brock doesn't win at SummerSlam, he and Heyman are leaving the WWE.
No, Heyman announces that if Brock doesn't win at SummerSlam, he and Brock are leaving the WWE.
Yeah,
Get it right.
yeah.
Brock doesn't talk. Get it right.
I know Brock doesn't talk. That's why I was phrasing it Heyman speaks for Brock, so he says that Brock says that he and Heyman are leaving.
The Brock says.
Yes. Also, Heyman theorizes that Angle wants the Samoan disgrace Joe to win the match because that would stick it to Lesnar.
Funny thing about that.
Yes.
Have you heard the ironic thing about this?
What is the ironic thing about this?
The person who wants Joe to win is Paul Heyman.
I did see that story.
Yeah, Paul Heyman is pushing for Joe to win the title at SummerSlam. I find that kind of funny, but appropriate. So, yeah, Brock is probably dropping the title at SummerSlam, and then he's going to go into heavy training for his return to UFC 6 months down the road.
There's a good chance.
Well, because reports are if he's going to return to the Octagon, he's going to need at least 2 months, if not more, of heavy training.
Right, that makes sense.
But, of course, his suspension with USADA isn't over for at least another 6 months, 6 or 7 months. So,
right. Wait, what?
He was suspended by USADA. He was suspended from the UFC. That suspension is still on until about 6 months from now.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, he got suspended for like drugs and shit. That's why he like fucking left.
Yes, he did. And that was for 1 year, which ended about 2 weeks ago.
Then how come everyone's reporting he still has like 6, 7 months on his suspension?
All the reports I've seen, it said it expired in July, which is why he's eligible to compete in October against the John Jones challenge.
Oh, well, if he's going to compete in October, then yeah, he is definitely dropping that title because he needs the time to train because he is not in UFC shape.
Yep.
But also, he may or may not be doing that because he hasn't cleared the USADA testing yet.
Fair enough.
And if he fails that, he ain't fighting nobody.
That's true. Fair enough.
Which means I may end up with the Universal title. Until someone takes Samoa Joe off me.
Mm-hmm.
You do need those points, so that would be fun.
Well, right now, assuming Brock is losing, we each have a man in the fight. Because I've got Strowman, he's got Roman, you've got Joe. Universal title can go anywhere, my friend.
It can, but I think the heavy rumor right now is that Reigns and Strowman are going to continue to work the angle to finish that off. If anyone takes the title, it'll probably be Joe, and then like Cena will work with Corbin for his final storyline on SmackDown. That he's going to jump to Raw and he's going to be feuding with Joe. So it would make sense if Cena has this ongoing feud with Joe leading into WrestleMania, where Cena, for the first time ever, takes the Universal title, and that's what breaks the record, the Ric Flair record, because that's the one major title Cena's never held, the Universal title.
Right.
And if he's on his way out, I could see them giving him that once, breaking the Ric Flair record, and maybe having him hold on to it for a year, and then having someone at the next WrestleMania beat him to gain a huge meteoric push, and then he retires after that. He's like, okay, I'm done, bye, and just goes off the act.
And good luck getting him to hold it for a year unless you're going to Brock Lesnar his ass.
I don't know. Maybe he'll hold it to SummerSlam. I don't know. But they'll want him to be built up as, Super Cena, and then have someone take down Super Cena. But yeah, that's the rumors that Cena is going to feud with Joe.
Okay, then.
I don't know. We'll see if there's any truth to that, but...
Yep. We will find out.
That also supposedly Vince is hot on Joe, so it would make sense. If that's true, it would make sense for him to put the title on Joe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But he's been hot on Roman Reigns forever.
He is, but unlike Roman Reigns, Joe puts butts in seats. And people don't hate Joe, so...
People like Braun Strowman a lot, too.
Yeah. You would think Vince would be hot on Strowman, but apparently not.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, they're currently in a feud. So unless they're going to put the title on one of them to continue the feud, which if they do, then what the fuck is Jill going to do? Basically, it comes down to, in my opinion, Reigns and Strowman don't need the title to remain relevant, and they don't need the title to continue their feud. Whereas Joe, in my opinion, needs that title right now more than the other two.
Fair enough.
If they're taking it off Brock, otherwise I'm fine with them keeping it on Brock.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
But rumor has it they want someone to actually be there to defend the title every week. So if that's the case, then yeah, they're going to take it off him.
Yep. Okay.
But that was a great promo nonetheless.
Indeed. So promo to Heyman and Lesnar.
Paulus and Bork.
All right. So after this, we cut to the back and we see the Hardy Boys come out to the ring and they have a tag team match against the Club. Playa. The Revival come out and they do commentary for this match. So we'll give the there's a post-match assault spoiler. So we'll just go ahead and give Dawson the commentary and the assault. So 9 points each to Dash and Dawson.
Indeed.
All right. So the Hardy Boys beat the Club.
Yeah.
So Carl Anderson didn't do anything, so he gets 5 points for showing up. And technically, they were also involved in the post-match assault, so. So we'll go ahead and give 9 points to Carl Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And then Luke Gallows will also get the 9 points, and he had 2 moves, so 11 points to Gallows. And then the Hardy Boys. Let's see, I believe Jeff got the pinfall. Yes, okay. So we'll do Matt first. So Matt is going to get, let's see, 15 points for being on the winning team, 5 for competing is 20. 4 for the assault, post-match is 24. And 6 moves is 30 points to Matt. Did I miss a joke?
No.
Oh, because the way somebody was breathing, it sounded like they were laughing.
No, it's just moving.
Oh, okay. And then Jeff is going to get 20 points for winning, 5 for competing is 25, 4 for the assault is 29, and 4 moves is 33 points to Jeff. Three and 6 is 449. All right. Yeah, post-match, there's some finishers on the stage. Hardy's bumping people into the screens. And Jeff launches off Matt and splashes onto Wilder and Anderson, who are down below the stage. We cut backstage where Dean Ambrose does an interview, but he's interrupted by Rollins, who says last week it felt like old times, but Ambrose says he still doesn't trust Rollins, and since he got burned once, it won't happen again. Promo to Rollins and Ambrose.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, after this, Seth Rollins is shown walking backstage when he's confronted by the tag team champions, Shea Sorrow. They tell Rollins what makes them a great team is that they trust each other, unlike Rollins and Ambrose, because Rollins stabbed him in the back. Sheamus says Ambrose was Rollins' last chance of success and pokes fun at Rollins for being a loner now. Rollins tells him he wants to fight one of them tonight, and Sheamus agrees. Tells Rollins to stop digging himself a hole and leaves. I'm just going to get that as a continuation of the existing Rollins promo, but I'll give promo points to Cesaro.
So apparently they're going to be pushing the Shield into the tag division, which I approve of.
Apparently.
Yeah, that'll have the tag division with quite a few main eventers, which will be interesting.
Hi.
A lot of former world champions.
Indeed. When they go out to the ring for a six-man cruiserweight tag team match, playa. Of Akira Tozawa, Cedric Alexander, and Rich Swann versus Tony Nese, Daivari, and TJP. The faces get the win after Swann manages to escape a detonation kick by TJP and kicked him in the head instead. And then Tozawa tagged in and hit the diving senton bomb. So heels first. Heels had no moves in this match because they suck. So the heels are all going to get 5 points. That'll be TJP and Tony Nese and Arya Daivari. Starting to see why your brother left yet? And then the faces did all hit moves. So let's see. Cedric Alexander gets 15 points for being on the winning team. 5 for competing is 20. And 3 moves is 23 points to Cedric. There we go. 259. All right. And then for Rich Swann, that's going to be 15 points. 5 for competing is 20. And 6 moves is 26 points to Rich Swann. And Akira Tozawa won the match, so he's going to get 20 points for winning. 5 for competing is 25. And 2 moves is 27 points to Tozawa. Let's see. Say that. What did I say? 7, right. So 92.02 is 509.
Tied with Alexa Bliss.
Dead tied with Alexa Bliss.
Also, assumption that Titus came out with him.
I see no indication of this.
Okay, because doesn't Titus usually come out for all his matches?
Sometimes.
Also, the reason Sean Daivari left is because he knew his career wasn't going to go anywhere when his first gimmick in WWE was the manager of Muhammad Hassan.
That's true.
After the shitstorm that gimmick had, yeah, he knew he was kind of done because the stigma of that was going to permeate with him for as long as he stayed in WWE.
But he went on to manage the Great Khali. He's the Hulk Hogan of India.
Yeah, being managed by the manager of the ISIS of WWE.
Anyway, The Miz comes out with the Miztourage for Miz TV. They bring out their guest Jason Jordan, talk about his career. He says Jordan's in-ring abilities remind him of his father, Kurt Angle, and he says he wants to manage Jordan's career and invites him to join the Miztourage. Jordan declines, so Miz says Kurt's going to hand Jordan everything on a platter, and says Jordan's being foolish because his company will chew him up and spit him out. He says he'd rather be chewed up and spit out than have an association with the Miz. Miz says Angle is washed up and got his job out of pity. And he's sad and broken down just like Pittsburgh. Jordan gets in Miz's face and Miz takes a swing at him. Jordan ducks and then suplexes Miz into Dallas and Axel. Jordan then rolls out and heads to the back. So that's going to be the appearance to the Miztourage. It's 87 to Bo Dallas. And Curtis Axel at 82. Oh, excuse me. And then we're going to have Maurice. 74. And the Miz himself is going to get promo. And then technically he didn't actually hit anybody, so Jason Jordan will get a promo plus the assault. And a suplex is a move of his, so that's going to be 5 for the promo, 4 for the assault, the suplex, 10 points to Jason Jordan.
Yep. And they're apparently going to have a match at SummerSlam.
Yep.
Rumor has it that Jordan is going to win that match. And Miz is going to blame Angle for it, and it'll go into Kurt Angle's first ever feud on WWE since his return.
Okay.
So we'll see if that rumor pans out.
Indeed.
Also, nobody cares about Jason Jordan.
Nope. I'll put it to you this way. Three minutes of smacking talk got Chad Gable over more than 2 full shows of Raw did for Jason Jordan. A smacking talk, sorry.
That actually got Chad Gable over?
I would think it would. It was hilarious. I mean, granted, he got fed to Rusev, but he put up a good fight.
Yeah.
Anyway, Seth Rollins takes on Sheamus.
Yeah.
Cesaro was at ringside in Sheamus's corner.
Of course.
So Cesaro will get some accompaniment points. All right. And Seth Rollins won this match. So we're going to go ahead and do Sheamus is going to get 5 for competing and 4 for moves is 9 points to Sheamus. And actually, I'm going to do this first. Hang on. You know what? There's a post-match assault. Spoilers. I don't know why I'm saying spoilers. But there's a post-match assault, so I'm just going to go ahead. The move points are already counted. I'm just going to go ahead and add the 4 assault points.
Okay.
So Cesaro's going to get 4 more assault points, and he had a couple of moves. So 6 more points to Cesaro. 1. Sheamus is going to get 5 for competing. 4 for the assault is 9, and then 4 moves is 13 points to Sheamus. It's 4-11. And then we're going to do Seth freaking Rollins. And is going to get 20 points for winning. 5 for competing is 25. 11 moves is 36. And 4 for the post-match assault is 40 points to Rollins. $4.99. And back in the top 10 for Seth Rollins. And during the post-match assault, Dean Ambrose ran out. So he will also get himself a assault. Okay. After this, Bray Wyatt comes out to the ring and cuts a promo on Pittsburgh, saying he sees everything because he's everywhere. He says Balor's fans are living vicariously through him. He gives them the illusion of hope. When the Eater of Worlds knocks you down, there's no getting up. There's no escape from him. He then drops the mic, but red lights start pulsing in the arena, through the arena, and then the lights cut out. And when they cut back on, Finn Balor is in the ring. Wyatt charges at him, but Balor kicks him, and Wyatt falls out of the ring. Balor follows him and hits a running dropkick, which sends Wyatt over the fan barricade, and he retreats through the crowd. So promo to Wyatt and assault promo and well, I think it was just an assault to Balor. He didn't say anything. So
Yeah. Supposedly Balor is bringing back the Demon King for SummerSlam.
yes, I approve.
Yup.
And Balor.
Again, as long as they don't make that a mandatory pay-per-view gimmick in the game, I'm okay with that. I want the option to allow Balor to come out with just the jacket for pay-per-views.
That's fair. Actually, it's 475 because he hit that drop kick, which is a move. Next up, we have a pre-taped video promo from Braun Strowman saying he's not like most men who settle things from behind a keyboard. He says tonight he wants to hurt Roman Reigns again, and there's nothing Joe can do to stop him. He's going to beat them both down because he wants Lesnar for himself at SummerSlam. Promo to Braun. Loud fumbling.
Sorry.
Not sorry at all.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. Triple threat, Reigns v. Strowman v. Joe.
Keep in mind, people, this is a triple threat match with the #1 contenders for the title, and it's not the main event. What the flying fuck?
Actually, there's reasoning behind this, I can tell you.
Okay.
Because WWE, they said this may be a trend going forward, purely because WWE has found that those matches actually get better ratings if they're in the second hour versus the third. Because I think the viewership trails off in the third hour regardless of what's in the main event. And I think they found out that it actually works better to their favor to have the more major matches during the second hour rather than the third.
Then make it a 2-hour show. Because
Yeah.
by putting the best match at the end of the second hour, no one's going to give a shit about the third hour. And that's pretty much what happened with this show, based on what I heard from people talking about the show. They're like, yeah, WWE kind of fucked up because at least if you put the good match at the end, people will at least care to the end of the show because they'll be like, well, I want to see that last match. But now you have nothing that anybody cares about in that third hour. You might as well just cut that third hour, especially since WWE apparently is looking to cut costs everywhere else. It's like, well, if you're really looking to cut costs, cut a third of your goddamn show. That'll save a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
Because if you know nobody gives a shit about a third of your product, cut out the third of the product that no one gives a shit about.
Logic.
That's why it'll never happen.
Yeah, well, supposedly they do want to cut money because apparently they want to. I mean, not that they're in any dire straits of losing money, but apparently they told their shareholders whatever that they were going to have higher profits for 2017 than they did for 2016, and their 2016 profits were like $30 million, and their profits thus far in 2017 are like $5 to $6 million.
That's why they cut out all the pyros and stuff.
Precisely.
But yeah, it's like, well, then cut out a third of fucking Raw. I guarantee you do that, your profits will go up because guess what? You're going to be forced to, do actual stories and stuff that make sense in a 2-hour show, which SmackDown has proven fucking works. And works a lot better than your 3-hour show. Sometimes I don't understand the logic of WWE.
I frequently don't.
And we lost Jim.
He died.
Apparently. Well, he's the one with the recaps and the score, so.
It was me all along.
Not much we can do without Silent Jim over there.
Silent Jim.
By the way, you plan to pre-order 2K18?
Probably not.
Hmm. I'm probably going to get the deluxe edition that just comes with all the in-game stuff, because fuck the Cena edition.
You don't want to get the Seen Enough edition.
If it was cheaper, I would, just for the autograph, but...
You heard it here live, folks. Jeff is a John Cena mark.
If I was a John Cena mark, I would buy it, but I'm not going to buy it because it's too goddamn expensive, and you get all the in-game stuff with the deluxe editions. I'm like, oh, fuck it, that's a better deal. So you get all the in-game stuff, and you get the season pass. I'm like, well, okay, then. That, and I'd rather have the Seth Rollins packaging, to be honest with you. Although you probably get that in the Cena Enough edition, too, but I don't want that gaudy-ass box.
Fair enough. So let's go over this again. It's a triple threat specialty match.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a triple threat match. Roman Reigns came out the victor, John.
Woohoo!
So we'll go ahead and do the other two first. We'll start off with Braun Strowman, who is going to get, let's see here, 5 points for competing and 3 for being in a specialty match is 8 points. And then 7 move points is 15 points to Braun Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
So 326. And then we're going to have Samoa Joe, who's going to get the aforementioned 5 for competing and 3 for specialty is 8. Plus, let's see, 13 moves. So that's going to put him at 21 points to Joe. Puts him at 506. 6.
Okay, then.
Indeed. And then Roman Reigns won the match, so Roman Reigns is going to get himself 20 points for winning this match. He's going to get 10 for winning a specialty match. Is 30. He's going to get the aforementioned 8 is 38. And 4 moves is 42 points to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns at 382. All right. After this, the Big Show is backstage doing push-ups. He's interrupted by Enzo, who thanks him for looking out for him, and Show says he's going to teach Big Cass a lesson in respect tonight. Promo to Show and Enzo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so let's see. That's Big Show is going to get 5. That's going to be 92, and then Enzo is going to be at 203. After this, Elias comes out to the ring with his guitar, where he cuts a promo on the people of Pittsburgh, then sings a song about them. Then gets interrupted by Kalisto's entrance.
Wow.
And nobody cared.
I forgot about that, dude.
I know. So Kalisto throws some kicks at a Hurricanrana, but Elias comes back. Some boots, some stomps, a suplex. Dodging a... Kalisto manages to dodge a clothesline and hit a crossbody, but Elias just goes back with a knee and a swinging neck breaker for the win. In a fairly short match. So Kalisto will get 5 points for showing up for said match. Him at 64. And then Elias gets 20 for winning a match. He gets 5 for competing in it. And he had 7 moves. And it's going to put him at, let's see, 5, 6, 7. That's 32 to Elias. E5 is going to be 05, 15, 225. After this, Alexa Bliss has a backstage interview where she talks some crap about Bayley and Sasha, saying that it's embarrassing that Sasha lost to Bayley, and Nia is just going to massacre Bayley further tonight. Foreshadowing. Over to Alexa. Seth approaches Dean in the locker room, thanks him for coming out to help earlier when he was beat down by Sheamus and Cesaro. Ambrose says Rollins set him up because if he didn't come out and help, he would look like the bad guy. Ambrose still doesn't trust Rollins and walks off. Promo to Rollins and Ambrose. Seth only 2 points behind Joe there. So what else we got here? Let's see. After this, we had the Elias thing already. All right. So next, Bayley first faces Nia Jax, and she defeats Nia via a countout. After Nia misses Bayley and throws herself into the stairs, and then cannot get back in the ring. So rules on a countout, if we have any. A countout win is only 10 points for Bayley. So Bayley get 10 points for that. 5 for competing is 15, and 4 moves is 19 points Bayley. Is 56. 56 and 4 is 265. And then Nia will get herself 5 points for competing. Okay. After that, Big Cass does an interview where he says you're judged by the company you keep, and Big Show must not respect himself if he's hanging out with Enzo. He'll be the one teaching Big Show and lesson him respect tonight. Promo to Cass. Wait a minute. Yeah, 83.
Wait
okay. I was right. Just want to make sure. Enzo comes out, cuts his usual promo on Big Cass, says Cass is a fraud, and Big Show doesn't write checks his ass can't cash. He introduces Show, and our main event is up next. So promo and accompaniment to Enzo. Enzo at 213. And then our main event is Big Cass versus Big Show. So let's see here. Big Cass wins a match by a DQ when Enzo gets involved. So let's throw Enzo some interference points. And then let's go ahead and we'll do Big Show first. Big Show's going to get 5 points for competing. He's going to get 4 for being in the main event, is 9. And he's going to get 4 for moves, is 13 points to the Big Show. Yeah, 95 is 105 live. And then Big Cass is going to get himself, let's see. What do we get on a DQ victory here? An unintentional DQ. An unintentional DQ, and that's no points. So Big Cass will get a standard 5 for competing. And he will get 4 for being in and win. We'll get 9 for being in and winning the main event, at least. So main event plus the 5 for competing is 9. It says 14, and then 6 moves is 20 points to Cass. What's about 303? Thus endeth Monday Night Raw. Let us checketh the scores. All right, still the lead at 86.99 is the Team Extreme there, followed by the Certified Battler Club, catching up at 78.56. And in last at 67.46 is Team Apocalypse. All right. And 117. Okay. Let's move on to SmackDown. Open my SmackDown link here. We've got 4 matches on SmackDown to cover.
Okay.
Technically 5, but nothing happened in one of them. SmackDown emanating from the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. All right, we open straight to hell up with a United States Championship match. AJ Styles defending against Kevin Owens. And AJ Styles does retain the title after a ref bump situation. So we're going to open up. There's some crazy-ass points going on here. Let's open up with Kevin Owens since he lost. So Kevin Owens is going to get 5 points for competing in this match. And then he had 16 move points. So that's going to be 21 points to KO. I think it was going to be it's going to be 709. Kevin Owens the first to crest 700.
Wow.
AJ Styles is going to get himself 5 points. Was going to get 20 points for winning the match. He's going to get 20 off a title retention is 40. 5 for competing is 45. And 13 move points is 58 points to AJ Styles. We're just going to put him at 718.
Jeez.
And the #1 spot, I might add.
Wow.
So following, so Owens freaks out after the match as the ref awakened to count of 3, but Owens had his shoulder up, but the ref's vision was impaired from the bump, and he couldn't see it. Owens freaks the hell out after the match. We cut backstage where Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon talk to the ref who's selling an eye injury. They tell him he made a bad call, but he just cares about his injured eye. Owens rushes in and starts throwing things and freaking the hell out. Owens is given a rematch for the U.S. title at SummerSlam, but he says he needs a referee who won't be knocked down by a gust of wind. So Daniel Bryan suggested the referee should be Shane. And Shane agrees. Owens gets even more pissed off and flips the table over before leaving.
Well, to be fair, it met Owens' requirement.
It did. So Kevin Owens gets promo. Also, whoever that ref was, dude, I'm sorry. You know, you can't really bitch about, you know, like, oh, I got accidentally hurt in the eye. That's like the least it's ever happened to a ref, dude. Like, there's been refs thrown off of things, refs putting through things, refs hit with things.
Someone pointed out that like his, I think in the match his left eye was injured, and then when they're looking at him, it's his other eye or something.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. I mean, they didn't even make you have plastic surgery to look like a different ref. Come on.
Yes.
Wow.
Old school references. Anyway, the Usos come out, cut a promo on the New Day, and then leave.
So promo to the Usos?
Promo to the Usos. All right, so that's 6 for you. And X5 for you is going to be actually 303. I've been wondering, they call the New Day 3 grown men talking about each other's popsicles. And they make fun of them for twerking.
They're not wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, we cut back to the office of the Fashion Police, where we see Fandango has gone missing. There's a missing poster on the board, and Breeze is trying to solve the case. After, of course, you may recall Fandango being dragged away into darkness at the pay-per-view a couple weeks ago.
By the way, for those wondering, this week's Fashion Police was apparently Fashion Peaks. Yes, it was supposed to, from what I've heard and understand, it was supposed to be a parody of Twin Peaks.
That makes a lot more sense now.
Which, yeah, it makes with the whole with the whole Breeze having hallucinations, and you're like, that makes sense.
It wasn't an hallucination; it was a dream.
Well, the dream, yeah.
Yeah, Breeze has Breeze is hooking into a tape recorder that he is a message he's addressing to somebody, only to then realize how dumb this is, because he could have just called them, and now he's got to figure out how to mail the thing to them. It'll take forever to get there, and he has no idea how the mail works. He never seems to look to the left and see Fandango walk in wearing a red shirt and black pants, acting almost like a zombie, talking about metaphors. The camera pans back to Breeze and then pans back over in the Ascensioner next to Fandango. One of the Ascensionists squirting honey over a log, and the other one is doing something else with some other thing. I don't remember what it was. And as they all start chanting whatever they're chanting, Breeze starts screaming, "No more metaphors! No more metaphors! Stop with the metaphors! No more metaphors!" There's a dissolve, and Breeze wakes up in the chair holding his tape recorder. And Breeze reopens the tape recorder, reintroduces himself on the tape recorder, and says, "No more metaphors. I know who kidnapped Fandango. To be continued."
Yeah. And realizing that this is a Twin Peaks parody, that has people wondering, could, like the honey on the log and stuff like that, could those actually be hints as to who's behind the attacks?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or is it just random, funny, stupid shit that WWE threw in there for purposes of parody?
Who knows?
Also, John, you watch NXT, yeah?
Did a long time ago, yeah.
Oh, you don't watch it anymore, so you're not familiar
Oh,
with it?
no, not at all.
Okay, because I was going to see if you had any ideas of any tag teams that might use metaphors.
No. Authors of Pain? No, I have no idea.
I forgot they were a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I did too. It's the only tag team I vaguely remember.
That actually makes big sense. People were thinking Sanity, but I could see Authors of Pain. That makes sense. Okay. Anywho, so that's going to be promo to. Okay, do I give promo to Dream Superstars?
Mini.
Yes? Oh.
I would say mini because they didn't say anything. Well, actually, no, they did mumble stuff.
No, they were saying shit.
Okay, yeah, give it to them then. Give them.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
That's right. They were mumbling stuff.
They were mumbling stuff. That's why he was screaming, "No more metaphors."
Well, I thought the honey on the log was the metaphor, but fair enough.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Maybe it's a heel turn for Fandango. Maybe it was Fandango all along.
I don't know.
Some people just kind of going off the cuff and just picking at things that were in there. Apparently, Fandango was holding like a flower of some sort.
Yes, he was holding a rose.
A rose. Some people are theorizing that maybe that signifies the return of Summer Rae, because she is supposed to be coming back.
Ah.
And she's been known to, wear a rose.
It's true.
It's Adam Rose.
Adam Rose!
See, that was my initial reaction. I was like, wait, Rose? Adam Rose? That would be completely, like, the blue fuck out of nowhere, though.
Wait a minute. Honey on a log? Bunny on a log.
Hmm.
I'll take that as a no.
Maybe.
Fair enough. Anyway, as we were saying, let's hear Fandango. He's going to get points. Where the hell is he? Fandango. 95. And Connor is in here somewhere. There he is. And then we're going to do Tyler Breeze. And then Victor.
Victor.
After this, Sami Zayn has a match against Aiden English that ends immediately. They exchange a series of arm drags. Aiden English reverses one into a roll-up. Sami Zayn gets pinned, and both men look equally shocked at the outcome.
Okay, then.
So Aiden English gets a victory as that. And then following the match, Mike and Maria Kanellis come out to the ramp, and they say they love each other, and they love that Sami Zayn just lost. So let's see here. So I guess Sami Zayn is going to get 5 points for competing. Zayn. And Aiden English is going to get 20 points for winning a match and 5 for being in it. So 25 points to Aiden English. And 5 is 113. He's crested 100. Woo! Oh, and English sings his song before the match, as usual. Just a note. And then Mike and Maria Kanellis are going to get a promo. Okay. After this, Becky and Naomi head out to the ring, and they have a tag team match play against Natalya and Carmella. So, the faces win the match. Carmella tapping out to Naomi's submission hold, the FTG. So we'll do the heels first. Carmella gets 5 points for competing and 1 for the move she hit. Is 6 points, Carmella. And then Natalya will get 5 points for competing and 2 moves. Is 7 points, Natalya. Next. And then we'll do the faces. Naomi. Well, Naomi got the win, so we'll do Becky first. Becky is going to get 15 points for winning team. 5 for competing is 20. One move is 21 points to Becky. $277. And then Naomi is going to get 20 points for winning. 5 for competing is 25. And then 9 moves is 34 points to Naomi. Is 98, 08, 18. How many points did I say?
Don't know.
Well, 25 and 5 is 34, right? Okay, so 98, 08, 18, and 4 is 422 for Naomi. More 20, more 22. Fucking numlock. All right, moving along in the program. After this match, we go backstage for an interview with WWE Champion Jinder Mahal, accompanied by the injured Singh brothers. He says he doesn't care if the American Cena or the man from Japan Nakamura wins because he'll beat either one of them. And he's now going to go to his skybox and enjoy the rest of the show. So, promo to Jinder, an appearance to the Singhs. And then we go to a one-on-one match between Rusev and Chad Gable, which Rusev comes out the victor of via a Machka kick and an accolade. What?
I just like Machka kick. That sounds funny.
That's what he calls it. That's the name, Machka kick.
It's like some Street Fighter level shit.
It's a jumping Savate kick. Machka kick. Machka kick.
Exactly. It's like forward, down, down, forward, kick.
Guess it'd have to be a Zangief move. Have you seen that awesome T-shirt that they have out that's like, you know, like how to do a finisher or something, and it's like little cartoon Zangief doing the spinning pile driver on a bear?
No.
It's awesome. It's like step 1, find suitable opponent. Just bear. Step 2, pick up opponent. Step 3, spin him around. Step 3, jump up in the air. Step 4, spin around and bring him down.
Nice. I approve.
Anyway. So Rusev wins this match. So we'll do Chad Gable. He's going to get 5 for competing in the match. And he's going to get 7 move points, is 12 points to Chad Gable. So 104. And Rusev is going to get 20 for winning, 5 for competing is 25. Excuse me. And 10 move points is 35 points to Rusev.
Woohoo.
So what did I say, 35? All right,
Yes.
85. All right. After this, Rusev cuts a promo on John Cena and says that nobody can beat him. Rusev complains he has no opponent for SummerSlam because everyone's afraid of him. Randy Orton's music then hits, and he makes his way down to the ring, grabbing a mic. All right, at first saying, yeah, you don't want me in that ring, Rusev. So Rusev backs off and lets him in. And Orton says that I'm not You've never beaten me, and I'm not afraid of you. Looking for an opponent? I'm right here. You got one. Rusev yells at him in Bulgarian for a couple of minutes, and then the two charge at each other, and Rusev eats an RKO. Orton poses on the turnbuckle and then leaves. So a promo to both men, and Orton with an assault and a finisher. So Rusev will get promo. Orton's going to get 5 for a promo, 4 for an assault, and 1 for the RKO with 10 points to Randy Orton. And then we go to our main event, Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena for the #1 contendership to the WWE Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura comes out the victor after kicking out of like 3 attitude adjustments and then hitting a Kinshasa.
Yeah, he got out of that third attitude adjustment, reversed it into the fucking attempted murder,
Yeah,
and then Kinshasa off of that.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a T-bone suplex.
It was an exploder suplex. It was an exploder attempted murder suplex, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
And then Kinshasa.
Where he again tried to murder him.
Well, strong style is supposed to be, stiff and like a shoot. So
Exactly.
Hashtag knees to faces.
yeah. And Ollie Davis of Wrestle Talk over there, the show that I watch, and I highly recommend you people check out that channel. It's a great channel. But they actually came up with, and he and his co-host actually came up with an alternate ending for that, which I'm like, that probably would have looked better, considering Shinsuke is the king of strong style. They should have had him after that second AA just fucking Ultimate Warrior that shit and no sell it, and just get up, but have him be like kind of out on his feet a little bit, but like he's running on adrenaline because that's kind of what strong style is, and then go into the sequence of he counters out of the third one into the exploder and then the Kinshasa. So it's like he's running on pure adrenaline and just going like full out 100% strong style on Cena, just like, I'm not going to lose. Rawr. I'm like, that actually probably would have been cool. Because they said no selling stuff can work if you do it right.
It can.
Cough, Hulk Hogan, cough.
Yep.
I was like Masato Tanaka taking those chair shots to the head.
That too. But, Hogan had the thing of the hulking up, which is basically him no selling anything and everything that gets thrown at him during that duration.
But see, he's the king of no sell style. So, like, yeah, of course his finisher is going to have that.
Yeah.
No, Ultimate Warrior was the king of no sell.
No, he had the best example, but I feel like Hogan was the king.
Yeah.
Also, I want that to be a shirt now.
Although some would argue Cena's the king of no sell style, but yeah.
Or what was that story a couple weeks ago with Lex Luger fighting the dude?
No, Lex Luger is definitely a disciple of the no sell style.
No, that guy was he was doing some match in like the Indies or whatever with that guy years ago. I thought Jim was talking about it.
I might have been.
Trying to remember. I don't know, some guy where like because the guy was like a giant dick or something like that, and Lex was just like, oh, he's not gonna sell any of my shit. Okay, I'm just gonna go with this because I'd rather not piss him off.
Okay then. Actually, wouldn't the king of not selling be Goldberg?
No.
I thought he was famous for not selling anything and then just fucking spear jackhammer win.
He's the king of the squash match.
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't watch WCW that much, so I don't know if he no sold stuff, but I know that his matches were like 7 seconds because it was like spear, jackhammer, over.
Mhm.
Comes out, he spits sparks, spear, jackhammer, and it's over.
I remember we used to watch WCW quite a bit, but I also remember that not really being our choice.
I wouldn't say quite a bit. Yeah, he would turn to it, but people would yell at him.
Yeah.
So it would get turned back, but yes.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you try to watch wrestling in a college commons area. You deal with WCW marks.
Yeah, pretty much.
And John would just be like, no, I'm bigger. Turn it back.
Hmm.
Well, he cheated. He had a remote for his TV, which was the same brand as the one out in the lobby.
That's
So
right.
it wasn't even the lobby's remote. He just took it from his room.
That's right. I'd forgotten about that. Douchebag.
Anyway, so Shinsuke Nakamura did win this match.
Yes, he did. Cleanly. In the middle of the ring.
Cleanly, indeed. So we're going to do Cena first. Cena's going to get 5 for competing. 4 for being in the main event is 9. And 10 moves is 19 points to Cena.
Ropaldo.
Ravaldo. It's going to be 29 is 138. And Shinsuke is going to get 20 points for winning. He's going to get 5 for competing is 25. He's going to get 9 for being in and winning the main event. It's going to be 34. And 17 move points is going to be 44. And the 7 is going to be 51 points to Shinsuke.
Nakamura.
Pretty much. All right, so 51 plus Shinsuke's existing 383 is 434 for Shinsuke.
He does
All
have
right.
an awesome theme song.
He does. We're not scoring this portion, but just as a note, after SmackDown went off the air, Baron Corbin attacked Nakamura. Cena ran in for the save, but Corbin took him out too. He took Cena to the outside to try to put him through the table, but Cena reversed it and A8 him through the table instead.
You can see that right now on the WWE Network for just $9.99.
Okay.
That's where you saw it. That's where people saw it was on the network. When they turned for 205 Live, they got Baron Corbin instead. And then they got 205 Live.
Oh, okay.
So it is on the network.
Not sure if upgrade or
Yeah.
Well, you got John Cena and Shinsuke with it, so upgrade. Despite the fact that Shinsuke was just the beat slut.
Yeah. Basically.
But yeah.
So next up, we're going to check the scores. Let's see what we got. Did I refresh all? All right. Still in the lead at 88-29 is Team Extreme, followed by Certified Balor Club at 79-52 and Team Apocalypse at 68-86. All right. That just leaves 205 Live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mentioned the Shinsuke thing here, but after all that stuff happens, Brian Kendrick comes out to the ring to open up the program, and he cuts a promo on how Jack Gallagher is a clown, and tonight he's going to send him back to the circus. Promo to Kendrick. All right, and then Levi Kendrick defeats Jack Gallagher by disqualification. And I love the phrasing here, by the way. I'm just going to read this verbatim. Brian Kendrick defeats Jack Gallagher via disqualification when Jack doesn't obey the referee's command to stop kicking Kendrick's ass. Kendrick has to slip out through the crowd to escape Gallagher's wrath.
Team Coco.
Yeah. So, again, I don't see any move indications, so we're just going to go with Jack Gallagher's going to get 5 for being in the match.
Intentional disqualification.
Right, which will actually put him at 1, so he'll get 1 point. And then Brian Kendrick, 1, but off an unintentional disqualification.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, an unintentional DQ win, so he doesn't get any points for that. So therefore, he's just going to get 5 for competing as well. All right. Following this, we cut to the back where Rich Swann is playing 2K17 with Mustafa Ali in the locker room. TJP enters. They have a heart-to-heart about their friendly competition and agree to have one more match next week. But first, they pick up the controllers to compete that way.
Of course they do. TJP's a gamer.
Yes, video games will save him from his heel persona.
Only if he gets on up, up, down, down. Hey, they had Rich Swann on there.
True. So, promo to Swan, Ali, and TJP.
Yeah. In fact, he made a cameo in the Charlotte episode.
Ah.
Yeah, he just kind of wandered in. Was like, kind of looking at what they're playing. Oh, okay, and walked off.
Fair enough.
Oh.
So now Xavier Woods has had the entirety of the 4 Horsewomen on his show.
Nice.
Now he just needs to have them all on at the same time.
Right. All right.
Which is not going to happen because different shows.
Yeah, basically. But could happen because SummerSlam.
Possibly.
So after this all happens, Tony Nese comes out and cuts a mocking promo of Cleveland for being jealous of his fantastic physique and mind-blowing ability.
Also, but not highly likely, because Bayley probably won't be there because shoulder injury.
More likely because Bayley will probably still be there to cheer on the other ladies, and she won't have to wrestle.
True. But she might be in, like, surgery or rehab at that point.
That is possible depending on the injury.
If it's a separated shoulder, I guarantee you she's going to be on the fucking slab.
Yep.
Because that shit's no joke.
Mm-hmm. Surgery on a slab. You're belying your age again, Jeff. So anyway, if you want to be on top, you have to look the part, and his body is why his team won the main event last week. Or last night is more accurate. Keep in mind when you see his opponent tonight, there's a reason he's covered head to toe, because the luchador looks like everyone in the crowd, and Tony Nese has a match against Grand Metalik. And Tony Nese wins this match with the running Nese. No botches. Apparently, after countering, there was a moonsault before Nese kicks his legs out from under him on a power slam counter when he attempted to springboard off the ropes. So that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a nice moonsault off the top to the outside there. That's pretty sweet. So let's see here. So Grand Metalik will get 5 for competing. I'm going to take a wild guess if that moonsault is worth a point.
Probably.
So we'll say 6 points to Grand Metalik. To at 20. And then Tony Nese is going to get a match victory off the running Nese, so that's 26 points to Nese. The 6 is 134. After this, Dasha Fuentes interviews Neville and asks who he wants to see win the main event. He mentions that Tozawa and Titus Worldwide have been a thorn in his side for a while. He thought he dealt with them at Great Balls of Fire, but they returned like a virus. Daivari wasn't even on his radar until he disrespected him. But he doesn't care who wins because he'll force them to bend the knee at SummerSlam. Promo to Neville. Neville. 6:18. Daivari comes out to the ring, cuts a promo dedicating his match to 1996 Olympic gold medalist Rasul Kadem and promising to win the title at SummerSlam. We then have our main event of Tozawa versus Daivari for the number one contendership to the Cruiserweight title, which Akira Tozawa wins. Via a senton from the top rope. Tozawa managed to nail a headfirst dive to the floor to set up the finisher, despite Daivari targeting the injured shoulder. So Daivari is going to get a promo. He's going to get 5 for competing, is going to be 10. He's also going to get 4 for being in the main event, is 14. So 14 to Daivari. It's 194. And then finally, we have Akira Tozawa, who gets 20 points for winning. He gets 5 for competing, is 25. He gets 9 for being in and winning the main event, is 34. And the 2 known maneuvers is 36 points to Tozawa. Mine is 545. All right, let's go to the final scores for the week. Refresh. In the lead at 88-49 is still Team Extreme, followed at 80-15 by the Certified Battle Club, and at 69-16 is Team Apocalypse. All right. Beginning to close the gap on you, Jeff. These next few weeks could be interesting. Let's check out the leaderboards. Top of the leaderboards at 718 points is the United States champion AJ Styles. Just 3 points ahead of the former U.S. champion and the new face of America, Kevin Owens, at 715. We're both miles ahead of the WWE champion, Jinder Mahal, at 620, who's just 2 points ahead of the Cruiserweight champion, Neville at 618, who is well ahead of Akira Tozawa at 545, who's just a little ahead of the Miz, the Intercontinental champion, at 540, followed by the Raw Women's champion, Alexa Bliss, at 514. Just a little ahead of Samoa Joe at 506. Followed, making it into 9th place this week, Seth freaking Rollins at 504. And Finn Balor managing to stay in the top 10 at 475.
Indeed.
So, This has been the usual shenanigans. Thank you two for joining me as always.
You're welcome.
We made a good time tonight. This was only about 2.5 hours.
Only.
Woohoo.
I'm just saying.
Baby steps. We got this.
Baby steps. All right. I'm James Phoenix. We'll see you next week for more shenanigans. Remember, we're coming down to the end of the season. It all ends at SummerSlam.
The biggest party of the summer.